Hey everybody, what's going on? Thanks for checking out the video. Coach William Grazione here. This video is going to be a bit different than the other 5 training vlogs that you guys have seen to this point. Obviously, in this training vlog, I figured out how to do an in-video video, so within this one, you're actually going to be able to see me communicate with you and watch some of the training highlights from the last few weeks. But in regards to this training vlog, what we're going to be talking about specifically are the deloads and when you essentially need to deload. A couple things that I'm seeing is that a lot of individuals who are following on paper programs, they have a tendency to think that, all right, every single third week I have to deload, or every fourth week I have to deload, every sixth week I have to deload. And I want to shed some light on that because ultimately I feel like a lot of people are deloading when they potentially don't necessarily need to. So what I want to shed light on first and foremost is why we deload. And then secondly, what we're going to talk about are some flexibility techniques that you can apply to your training to essentially stretch your training block out even further. As an example, if you are compounding fatigue on a week-to-week basis, you may only last 6 weeks. But if we can compound that fatigue on 1 week, utilize the flexibility of adding in an extra recovery day here or there, you may be able to stretch that training block out potentially 8 weeks, which could potentially lead you to obviously achieving more gains. So let's go ahead and talk about this. First and foremost, why do we deload? We are deloading or unloading because of an accumulation of stress or fatigue on the central nervous system. So we have these central nervous system adaptations that essentially allow you to recruit X amount of muscle fiber when you are training and recruit some of those high threshold motor units. However, over the course of time, this compounding stress of doing a really freaking hard set and feeling it psychologically, that adds up over the course of time, and that essentially fatigues your central nervous system. Now, the other reason is to promote recovery within the soft tissues, i.e. connective tissues and muscle tissues. Because if you think about it, all really muscles are just, it's a soft tissue that connects a bone to a bone, and then the contraction of that muscle moves the bones, right? So we're just thinking about prioritizing recovery for the connective tissues. Now, there's a couple different ways in which we need to do that. And the first one is going to be utilizing the deload. Now, what the deload is essentially just reducing your total volume by as much as 50%. Now, I will say that in most cases, we want to prioritize the recovery of soft tissues more than we can worry about prioritizing the recovery of the central nervous system. So you'll hear me oftentimes talk about deloads. If you're a client of mine, or if you just hear me talk about training, you'll hear me oftentimes talk about the fact that I don't necessarily like to take weight off the bar during a deload. What I rather do is say, all right, we're going to limit the the reps in reserve. So as an example, if you're doing 3 sets of 8, okay, with 200 pounds, the way that I would essentially deload that would be, all right, let's go ahead and cut the volume in half. So 3 sets of 8 is 24 reps, right? We're going to cut the 24 reps in half. So now we're going to have 12 reps. And instead of doing a set of 8, we're only going to do 2 sets of 6. So we're doing 2 sets of 6 equals 12 reps, which is half of 24 reps with 200 pounds. So you could think that doing 6 reps with 200 pounds is going to put less stress on the central nervous system as 8 reps, and it's going to be 50% of the load of 24 reps. So over the course of time, over the course of a week, this would naturally allow you to deload or to unload the volume that you've been accumulating over time, which has ultimately caused some level of fatigue to your central nervous system and to your muscle system. So moving forward from that, what are some flexibility methods or modalities that we could utilize as a means to extend our reach of training? So as an example, a lot of people will say, all right, well, every single fourth week you should deload, or every 6th week or whatever. I actually believe in deloading, but using deloading in a flexible fashion. So not like everything that's compiled on paper and you have to deload every 5 weeks, but I would actually say that it's a better idea to just listen to your biofeedback and individualize when you need to take a deload. So some things to pay attention to are how beat up you feel when you're waking up in the morning. Do you still feel sore? Do you feel like you have any nicks, any bumps, any bruises, any soreness, any stiffness? And take an extra day to recover. And again, by taking an extra day to recover, you could prolong the life of your training block for that specific block, which could ultimately lead you to more gains. Now again, there are times where you're just going to be compounding stress over and over and over and over again, likely similar to a lot of you guys who are running powerlifting based training programs where on paper you're training 5 days a week, but then on Monday you still feel like you're beat up. The truth is you should probably take an extra day to be able to recover so that you can hit the next week fresh and alleviate some of that fatigue from the previous week. So that's just a little bit of my insights in regards to deloads. I hope you guys found that really helpful and you have enjoyed watching me progress on the bench press. We're up to 235 pounds for working up to 3 sets of 8. Let's keep it going.